Okay, awesome. So today has been so profound for the Yin on Fire team. We have been able to call in some beautiful additional resources that are going to help us take the festival to the next level. We're so over the moon for this. And we have some really cool announcements that we'll let you all be just in suspense for about a week and possibly two, and then we'll announce it. But just suffice it to say, if you're not already planning on coming to Yin on Fire, you definitely want to be there. So, oh, Angel's coming on tonight. I didn't expect her to be here. So, all right, you guys, I drew a card. Why? Because I like drawing cards. And so I've got the Oracle deck, the Sacred Rebels deck that I drew from tonight. And so I'm going to read to you. Of course, it's number 22, because why wouldn't it be any other card except for 22? And this one says, she feels, she knows. Isn't that beautiful? Or he feels, he knows, because we have both here. So let's make sure that it applies to everyone. Okay. An illumination is erupting from within you as a vision that is bringing what was once obscured into clarity. This is not likely to happen as a blinding, shocking insight, but as more of a softer, gentle knowing. It is like knowing something without understanding exactly when or how you came to know it. This insight will assist you, and you are asked to honor it. You will know which insight it is at the right time. Your heart will tell you. You are therefore being asked to rely upon the clarity that is coming to you now, or has just recently come. Gently but firmly from that place of knowing, intend to act and take your next steps forward. This oracle comes to you with guidance, particularly about long-range or long-term developments. Something that is far bigger than the immediate situation, issue, or moment is of importance, although you will only have a dim sense of that possibility at best. This situation you find yourself right now may not be one of joy, but in time you will understand more of the bigger picture. You will come to see why things are happening as they are and how you are being helped on to the next stage of your path. Even though it may look like an obstacle right now, you are being asked to think in terms of long-term happiness. Sometimes this warrants change or even temporary restrictions in the short term. If you can't see how the present can become what you sense the future to be, this message is especially relevant. And it says with the healing process for this one is just imagine that you're standing with your feet at hip width distance and your arms loosely at your sides, and say to yourself, I feel the light of all that I am and will be unfolding from within me now. And then say, I surrender what is into the loving fire of transformation, the light of which illuminates the present and manifests the future in the highest creative expression of unconditional love. You all are a part of something very big, something very special, something very magnificent. And there is a much bigger picture than sometimes what we see right now in the present moment. In fact, normally that's what's happening. I am so excited tonight to be sharing with you one of my dearest friends who's also been an incredible mentor in my life. She's going to be sharing with you insights so that you can make that bigger picture a reality. She's going to help you understand how to step into your birthright, which is abundance. She is a master at words. She is a master at communicating and helping you understand how to unfold and unpack this. And by the way, I should mention, my name is Wendy Bunnell. I'm one of the creation team co-creators of Yin on Fire. We have several on here that are with our group. We have Angel Lynn. You guys know who Angel is. We have Sal Love on here. And we are here just holding a sacred space of safety so that you can learn how to realize that incredible clarity that might be coming in for your next steps. What is it that you are creating that is in this expansive space of what is true and possible? So I am going to go ahead and pass the baton over to my dear friend Laurel Huston, who is going to be sharing with you tonight a little bit about this incredible energy that we're feeling tonight, but then also steps to step into welcoming wealth into your life. There you go. I'll take over the letting people in, and I'm going to let you take over.
All right, I'm going to close some windows then, so I'm not letting people in anymore. All right, I'm going to, I have a PowerPoint because otherwise, and Wendy will just laugh when I say this, I have a problem with fire hosing people with information. So I have a PowerPoint to keep me on track and to not completely overwhelm you, because when I get really excited about something, I want to give you all of the information. So to start off, one of the things that I want to point out is that for a lot of people, we are information gatherers, right? We love to know the things because eventually one day we want to have the things. So a very important thing to understand is that information only creates transformation when there is integration. So you need information, integration, and then transformation. So as part of tonight's call, we will actually be doing a trauma-informed breath work. It is a short breath work, but a very integrative breath work. And that is something that we will be doing at the end. So obviously honor your time. I'm going to try to stay on time, and that's what we'll be doing at the very end. So whatever notes you take, if there is a particular theme that comes up for you that you want to make sure that you integrate, not just in your mind, but in your body, in an actual sensation, we are going to be doing that with breathwork later tonight. So let me share my screen so that I stay on track. Where did my little face go? There we go. Okay, can you guys see the PowerPoint? All right, now where did all of you go? There's your beautiful little faces. Okay. Okay, so welcoming wealth is what this is about. And the very first thing that I invite you to do is just hearing what we're talking about, welcoming wealth. What does your body feel like? What sensation are you feeling in your body? Not in your mind. Don't go into thoughts. Does your body feel heavy? Does it feel light? Did it get cold? Did it feel tense? If you had to give your body a texture when I say wealth, money, riches, abundance, prosperity, what is actually happening in your body? And I would love for you to share in the chat the words that are coming. Really sit with this, because a lot of times we forget that wealth is a sensation, not just a mindset. And part of tension, resistance, playfulness, cozy. Yes. If money was a color, what color would you see when people talk about wealth, about richness, abundance? And the feeling of the wind when you ride in the car. I love that, the feeling of the wind. And I automatically wanted to do this because you cannot put your arm out a window without like riding the wave of it. I don't know, maybe you can, I can't. Excited, expansion, freedom, royal blue. I felt nauseated. That's actually really important. And we'll get into that in just a second. And as you fill into this, I invite you to not create a story. And this is why. You already have plenty of stories about money and programming. So just fill into it. What sensation is coming up? Because sensation is just information. That's it. And that information only has as much power as the story that we give it. So goosebumps, yes. Awesome. This is going to be such a good night. Okay. So what we're going to be doing tonight, we're going to discover your money mindset and shift it. Because a lot of people are like, I know my money mindset. Cool. Now that you know it, what are you doing with it? Listening to the language of your body, which is different than body language, and what your money programming is. So this is part of what we're doing right now. What is your body telling you? What sensations, because sensation is information, what is coming up in your body right now about your current money programming? I got tight through the back of my shoulders and the base of my spine. Beautiful. This is awesome. Okay, and then like I said, we'll do breath work at the very end. I know a lot of people take a lot of time to tell their story. Here's cool things about me. You can screenshot if you want to. Big thing, I've been doing this for about 20 years. I'm a Tantra coach. I've been a breathwork facilitator for 7 years. And I have been an entrepreneur for over 20. So next. Okay. A person is a mind, a body, and a spirit. And the reason I make this differentiation is because sometimes when we start our personal development journey, we start with mindset, which is totally fine. But it takes a lot of time, energy, effort, and repetition to actually change our mindset. How many of you have a declaration that you have been doing for years? And yet when you make that statement, you don't feel it in your body, but you have it memorized. So that would be mindset. A person, though, is a mind, a body, and a spirit. And so when we only focus on mindset instead of heart set and soul set, we don't always get integration and we very rarely get transformation. So I bring this up because we're not just going to be talking about your money mindset, but your body set for money and your spiritual set for money. So if you've ever heard anyone talk about money, one of the things they always say is money is a magnifier. So one of the things that I personally have noticed and have coached thousands of my clients to understand is that when you are hiding something, you will hide from money because money is a magnifier. So what will it magnify? When you make money the solution, whatever the problem is what money will magnify. So for example, if you think money will solve my marriage problems, as money starts to come, it is going to magnify your relationship. It's going to show you all the places in your relationship that have gaps. So this is why some people then go, oh, I don't want any more money. It's showing me the things I don't want to see. If you think money is going to solve your health problems, money starts to come and magnifies so that you can understand where the gaps are. Money is not here to ruin your life. Money is here to show you as a tool what you are hiding. And so I want you guys to take a moment, and for those that feel comfortable, I want you to finish or in the chat, say how you would finish this statement, okay? It feels safe to be seen as. Does it feel safe to be seen as rich? Ooh, I've just felt this. Okay, we're going to back up a little bit more. What does safety feel like in your system? Let's start there. What does safety feel like? Not what is safety? What does safety feel like in your system? For me, the easiest way to explain is the exhale. When I feel safe, I can breathe out. Relaxed, ease, calm. Get really, really particular on this. What texture is safety? What color is safety? You guys are going to hear me ask these questions over and over because often when we're thinking about emotions, we think about them. We don't allow our body to feel them. Safety feels lit up, vibrant, joyful, playful, beautiful, comforted, relaxed, at ease, calm, warm, fuzzy blanket, soft white and yellow, happiness. Yes. So when I think about safety and I think of strength and softness at the same time, I always think of a minky blanket. Do any of you guys have a minky blanket? It is super soft, but it is like it's stronger than steel. Have you ever tried to rip minky with your bare hands? So for me, it's strong and it's soft. And that is what safety feels like. And it's that ability to breathe out. I'm not sure. I know what safety feels like. Yeah, petting my dogs. Honestly, like that is something that you can associate it with. You're like, when I'm petting my dogs, I have that sense of safety. So I'm going to pause here for just a minute, because if you are having a hard time identifying what safety feels like in your system, this is why no matter how much money you bring to you, you still don't feel safe with money. When you feel safe with you feel safe to let money come. When you don't know what safety feels like, money does not create a sense of safety in your system. So I just revealed something, and I'm going to say it plainly. The more you can regulate your nervous system to feel safe, money will come and magnify that sense of safety, so you will allow more to come. But when you're constantly feeling unsafe and you're holding your breath and you're wondering where your bills are going to get paid, and you're in fight, flight, freeze, or fawn anytime someone brings up money, when money comes, that gets magnified, and all of a sudden you realize how often you feel unsafe. So we will stop money. Let me know if this is landing. Is this making sense? Give me some head nods if your camera's on. Okay, is it making too much sense? Unfortunately, and I tell people all the time, I teach what I've been through. So a lot of times when I say things, I'm like, yeah, I know that a little too well. So here's the next part. What we are going to be doing in this workshop is actually integrating in your system what safety feels like, and how safe it feels to have money come to you. Because when I say, do you feel safe to be seen as rich? What does that feel like in your system? Does that sense of safety leave you? Do you feel like, oh, well, it's safe to be rich as long as this family member doesn't know? Does it feel safe to be seen as relaxed? How many of you have programming that says if you get money but you did it calmly and peacefully, you're afraid to tell people how you got it? If hustle, hard work, strive wasn't part of what it felt like in your system, you're like, I can't tell people it came to me easily, so it doesn't feel safe to be seen as easy. That is a big word for a lot of women, because women don't want to be seen as easy. But I'll give you a secret. I am so easy. I love to be seen as easy. Things come to me easy. I am not afraid of easy. I'm not afraid to be easy. I'm not afraid to be easygoing. I am not afraid of money to come to me easily. So change the way you feel about the word easy. Does it feel safe to be seen as easy? Because a lot of times people talk about, I want to feel safe to be seen. As what? Safe to be seen as what? Does it feel safe to be seen as wealthy? Does it feel safe to be seen as relaxed? Does it feel safe to be seen on vacation? Does it feel safe to be seen as independent? Does it feel safe to be seen as what? When you think of wealth and you think of why you want it, if it does not feel safe to be seen as wealthy, this is one of the reasons you won't let wealth come to you. I told you, I'm not very good at skimming the surface. I like to deep dive. Is that okay? Okay. Okay, we're gonna keep going. Okay. I had to remember what my slides were. So this is not mine, and I teach this almost every time I teach because there's so much in it. I have a degree in psychology and a second degree in human development. This is called Maslow's hierarchy of human needs. And the very short version of this is that this pyramid is the order in which your brain cares about things. So when it comes to money, when we are trying to create money, usually the first reason we want to create money is so that we can pay our bills and make our house payment, buy our groceries. Our physical needs are what we're worried about: our food, our water, our shelter, hygiene. Shelter can be clothing. So it's that level of, are my basic needs met? So if your mindset right now is, I want to buy groceries and pay bills, that is where your money programming is focused. If your money is focused right now on creating safety, order, stability, security, predictability, you want stable income, you want predictable income. That is safety. And so that part of you knows my physical needs are getting met. So now I want predictability, I want consistency. So that is just a higher level of money mindset. Okay, the next is connection and a sense of belonging. This is part of the it's safe to be seen. Is it safe for you to be seen with other wealthy people? Is it safe for you to be seen doing things and being in places where you consider wealthy people? Do you hide your elaborate vacations? So this sense of belonging, do you have an intimate relationship with money? Do you feel connected to money? What is your actual relationship with money and wealth? And I want to make a quick, wealth is not just money. Wealth is a mind, body, and spirit sensation. Wealth actually used to mean well-being, and it got turned into money because of Maslow's hierarchy. Because the people who had well-being, they had their mind, their physical, their mental, their spiritual, it all felt cared for because they weren't worried about whether or not they were going to have food. And so wealth in the term of well-being kind of got transitioned into riches. It got turned into money. The other reason I like to bring this up is because esteem and successes is all the way up here, second to the top of the pyramid. And for many people, this success and accomplishment gets moved and it gets put in between safety and belonging. And the problem with that is that when we think we cannot have connection, intimacy, commitment, relationships with people, if our successes are not what we think we should be, we will actually push relationships away. And if you know anything about money, money comes from people and resources. So if you are trying to base all of your relationships on money, but you are not willing to create safety in those relationships, people are less likely to want to share their money with you. So it has to go safety, belonging, and part of safety is trust. Without trust, it's hard to have connection or intimacy. Once you have this sense of belonging, then accomplishments automatically happen. And at the very, very top is self-actualization, purpose, or fulfillment. And because of this world and because of the people on this call, I know you want money because of the spiritual experience. You want to take your message, you want to take your healing journey, and you want to share it with other people. So I understand that the reason you want money is to fulfill your purpose. Well, the purpose of money is to help you fulfill your purpose. So here's another one, if you are unsure of your purpose, you are unsure of how much wealth, financial abundance, or prosperity you will allow yourself to have. And that's where programming comes in. So we're going to do a journal exercise really quick. Yeah, the purpose of money is to help you fulfill your purpose. And that's actually really important to understand. That is the tool. So I want you to, if you're taking notes, great. If you're not, you can just, I actually invite you, because this is part of the safe to be seen. When you share your thoughts in a group like this, you're actually teaching your brain it's safe to have these conversations. I can have this come up, and it's safe for me to have this come up. So if you don't have something to write with, if you want to share it in the chat, I invite you to do so. So I'm going to have some journal prompts up here, and I want you to just write the first sentence, maybe 2 or 3 words that come up when you first read this. Don't try to get into paragraphs. If you have a whole memory that comes up, just write a couple words so that you remember the memory. Ready? Okay. My mother taught me money is. What did your mother teach you about money? Just a couple words, one sentence. My father taught me money is. What did your father teach you about money? Okay. When I think about money, I want. When I think about money, I want. My relationship with money is. And as you write these, it's not good or bad. It's not right or wrong. It's just information. It's just information. And everyone's going to have a story. All right. My mother taught me money is. My father taught me money is. When I think about money, I want. My relationship with money is. Now, here, we're going to go a little bit deeper. Do not write down a new answer. Just read the answer you wrote about money. My mother taught me pleasure is. Read your answer about money. My father taught me pleasure is. Read your answer about money. When I think about pleasure, I want. Read your answer about money. My relationship with pleasure is. Read your answer about money. And every once in a while, someone will have something that's like way off. They'll be like, when I think about money, I want a truck. Cool. What does the truck represent to you? Is it freedom? Is it adventure? What does it actually represent to you? Because it's more than a truck, I promise. Okay, now we're going to go one level deeper. And this is going to help you understand a lot of your money programming. Okay. My mother taught me I am. Read your answer about money. My father taught me I am. Read your answer about money. When I think about myself, I want. Read your answer about money. My relationship with myself is. Read your answer about money. Now, everybody breathe out. And just feel into your body for a moment. Because some of you had an awareness that you're like, good job, mom and dad. And others of you had an awareness that you're like, what the fuck? Both are perfectly acceptable, as well as everything in between. When we understand where some of our money programming comes from, we can recognize that it was never ours to begin with. And I call it programming rather than false beliefs, because here is truth. I don't believe all of my programs. So it's not a false belief because I don't believe it, but I am afraid of the consequence. So I do follow the program. I'm going to say that again. There are very few false beliefs that we have. What we have is programming, and we have programming that we fear the consequence of so much that we follow it. And I'll tell you right now, it's a hell of a lot easier to change a rule than to change a belief. So we're going to change our money rules. Yay! Because how many of you have ever had a rule in life change for you? So if you can change a rule, it's easier than changing a belief. All right? So if you have a program that created a rule about money, we're going to change the rule. I never followed rules anyways. Okay, I love that, and I wasn't going to bring that up, but it was in my original notes. So when you when you are I don't follow rules anyways, and you have this rebel energy, I love to remind people that rebels start revolutions, and revolutions are what create freedom. So none of you are rule breakers, you're chain breakers. And you're here to start revolutions and create freedom. So honor that you are a rule breaker. Honor that you are a rebel. You're not a rule breaker, you're a chain breaker, and you're here to create freedom. Congratulations. Doesn't that feel better? And now for some of you, like that may be the thing that lets you go, I can fulfill my purpose now. My purpose is to create more freedom for people. I'm breaking these chains, not breaking rules. And rules change all the time. So there's that. Okay. When we make money means something that it doesn't mean. And we do this all the time. So for men, we usually make money. Well, for men and women, we usually create and think that money is our worth. And it is because of this, that our money programming, our programming around pleasure, sensuality, intimacy, and our programming around our identity are all actually housed in the same place in our body. So when I was asking you, where in your body are you feeling sensation about money? Some of you said your lower back. The lower back, the base of your spine, is where we hold sexual experiences, our identity, and our money. So the beautiful part about those three things being in the same place is that if you change one, you actually shift all of them. So you can ask your body, which one feels the easiest to work on? My identity, my wealth, or my intimacy? And whichever one feels the easiest, that's where you start the work. You don't pick the one that's like, oh, when I think of that, my back just wrenches. It feels so tight. It feels so heavy. If you have programming that says it has to hurt to matter, you're going to pick the one that feels the worst, and you're going to put the most energy and the most effort so that you can say you worked hard. But ladies and gentlemen, if hard work were the precursor to wealth, farmers would be the wealthiest ones of us all. People who teach preschool would be multimillionaires, cops, firefighters. If hard work were the precursor to wealth, more of us should have a lot more money. So please stop telling yourself that hard work is the precursor to making money, but this is where that came from. It's programming, it's not truth. So for men, your bank account does not reflect your value or your worth. Men have been programmed to believe, and I love history, so we're going to do a little bit of a history lesson. Men have been programmed to believe because for a moment, this was true. If you look at class systems and you look at kings, lords, dukes, and you look at their station in life, the more wealth they had access to, the more society valued them. So we falsely have tied our bank account to our worth. So when we make the money in our bank account mean something, this is where a lot of men start to lose their identity. And when their bank account goes up, they feel good about who they are. And when their bank account goes down, they don't. Women have been taught that their virtue reflects their value and their worth. Because whether we like to talk about it or not, at one point in time, women were a commodity to be bought and sold. And if you look at a woman, if she was used goods, she was worth less as a commodity. And that programming that says if a woman is not virtuous or pure, then she is worthless. So women will take their sexual experiences and let those determine whether or not they deserve wealth, abundance, prosperity. Men will take their station in life and the amount of money in their bank account and let that determine whether or not they matter or have worth. And we're going to get rid of that because no part of it is truth. Can you feel right now how your soul is like, F that? And your head is like, no, I have evidence. I have thousands of years that says that's true, except it's not. And this is why people don't talk about such things. Because we can't reconcile it in our system. Our head goes, yes, we must have evidence that we deserve something. However, a long time ago, I realized that you cannot have a belief in unconditional love and have a belief of being worthy and deserving of something. So if you have a belief that unconditional love is true and real, you cannot believe that worthy and deserving are also real. Because that is the literal opposite of unconditional love. So if you have to prove your worth, that is not true. The other thing, a lot of ancient texts and scriptures and quotes that people use about the word prove, they use it in a justification. You need to justify that you can have that. But back when the word proof and prove was used in context, it meant to rise. It was talking about bread. It meant to make lighter and to rise. So if it's too much effort to change, I have to prove myself, then change your definition of proof. You no longer have to justify your existence, but you do get the opportunity to make yourself lighter and rise. So if you are going to prove yourself, if you're going to prove that you can have wealth, if you're going to prove that you are allowed to have riches and prosperity, then what you actually need to do is show that you can do it by making yourself lighter and by rising, not by justifying why you want it. Does that feel different in your system when you change just that one word? Okay, so no, we're going to skip that. Okay. I want to talk about your body for a minute. So one of the modalities that I created over a decade ago is called body mapping. And we're not going to get too into it, but there are certain places in your body that will send you sensation. And that sensation is information. So when you, it shows money and wealth and riches, value, it'll show up in your nose. It'll show up in your calves, it'll show up in your belly, and it'll show up in your shoulders. So I'll get into why in just a moment, but the first thing, I'm actually going to start with shoulders because this is where the most people will feel their money, because no one has a money block. Yep, I just said that. And I felt some people say, yes, I do. No, you don't. You have a responsibility block. There's a difference. No, if I were to open the call up and say the first person to who has their camera turned off, the first person to turn their camera on, I'll send you $100,000. You would be like, I can totally turn my camera on. I can handle that responsibility. Kaylee's like, that'd be me. Okay, so people do not have a money block. People are willing to receive money. They have no problem receiving money. What they don't want is their perceived responsibility about what that money requires of them. So what if it didn't require anything? What if it just required you to receive? What if the only thing you had to do for money was be open to it? That feels a lot less heavy than when you go, oh, when I think about other things that I have to bring into my life in order to prove that I deserve money. No one has a money block. We have a responsibility block because we create a story about what we have to do to earn the money, to receive the money, to be worthy of the money. So this shows up in your shoulders, and shoulders will feel very heavy. They'll feel very tight, especially whenever anyone talks about money. A lot of times I will see people, and if their shoulders are rounded forward, they're either the oldest child and they have grown up feeling like the weight of the world is on their shoulders, or they're having financial struggles. And there are so many responsibilities that they are carrying, either their own, their families, their job, whatever it is. But we will carry responsibilities on our shoulders. So if you can get the body to release tension in the shoulders, you will actually feel your body be more willing to receive more money. Okay, the belly. Your belly is all about capacity. So some of us create a bigger belly because we want more capacity. And we're not willing to let go of what we don't need in order to receive new things. So whether you are male or female, the place on your body that stretches the easiest is your belly. So your belly is about capacity. It's also about connection. And that connection, when you have an upset stomach, when you are carrying extra weight there, your body is trying to tell you, we are over capacity and you won't let things go. So we're holding on to it for you. And physiologically, the safest place for your body to hold on to things it doesn't need is in its fat stores. So your body will create extra. And then we hate it and it goes, you're welcome. You won't let it go. So I found a place for you to keep it. You're welcome. So you can let things go or you can hold on to them. And it really is your choice. Just stop hating that your body's helping you. It's doing exactly what you're asking it to do. Okay, your calf muscles. Your calf muscles are all about new, higher standards and values. Your calf muscles are the only place that let you go from one level to a higher level. So think about when you tiptoe, you engage your calf muscles. So when people are up leveling in life and they're going from one set of standards, one set of lifestyle, one set of beliefs, they can get Charlie horses. Or when they are letting go of childhood standards or beliefs or values and they're raising to a new height, to a new level, this will show up. Or when your body is trying to tell you, we are ready for more. We are tired of not moving. We're tired of the level we're on. We want to go up. We want to move up. This will show up in your calves. And then in your nose. So the nose has a lot, but the simplest version is when you don't have a cold. If you have a virus and your nose gets stuffy, duh, that happens. When you don't have a virus and your nose is stuffy, it's because you have created a block in your give and receive cycle. And for most people, it's not that you're not giving, it's that you won't receive. It's that you won't receive. So the block is not about money. The block is about responsibility, and the block is about receiving, which in turn, for most people, well, I don't want to receive it because what responsibilities or expectations come with it? So this is what's happening, and your body is giving you sensations in these different places. So we are going to create a new sensation, and I love that we're doing this with the eclipse. So wealth is about creating a sensation, a sense of comfort, safety, and nurturing. So remember that as we do this breath work. Quick things about the eclipse. I didn't want to spend a ton of time on this because I feel like every social media witchy woo-woo person has made an eclipse thing, but a couple things to know. Yesterday, if you felt really frantic, and you felt this need to get rid of things, to purge things, to clean things out, that was your body trying to make space for the eclipse portal. The eclipse portal is going to basically what we create last night, today, right now, is going to happen over the next 6 months. It's a 6-month eclipse portal. And one of the biggest things I can tell you is to focus on regulating your nervous system. Focus on finding places where you feel calm, where you feel at peace, because that is what is going to be magnified. Right now, the eclipse portal is looking to match and magnify the energy that you are in. So if you would like to spend the next 6 months creating from hustle, from lack, from fear of unknown, you can. If you would like to spend the next 6 months creating things from a place of peace, from a place of calm, from a place of regulated, from a place of predictability, this is why you have this weird urge to get rid of things. Because the universe is literally trying to get you to a calmer state where you can just go, oh, it feels so good to receive. It feels so good to receive. It feels safe to be open. So for some of you, I invite you to just work on the sense of what safety feels like. When people ask me what I do, when I don't want to deep dive into it, I tell them I feel my job is to help people feel safe to feel safe. I help people feel safe to feel safe. And that may sound silly, except for most of us, we've spent so much time with the dysregulated nervous system that we are actually more comfortable in panic than we are in peace. And when we spend time in peace, we get there and we go, oh, this feels so good. Oh no, but what's going to happen next? And we kind of start waiting for the other shoe to drop. I help people feel safe to feel safe. How long can you sit in a sense of peace and calm and safety before you turn it into panic instead of peace and pleasure? So healing is not about learning how to deal with trauma. Every person on this call has a mechanism for dealing with trauma. It may not be the healthiest. It may not be the best. I will not judge you. I'm addicted to sugar. So everyone knows how to deal with trauma. Healing is not about learning how to deal with trauma. Healing is about learning how to feel safe again. It is about learning how to feel safe to feel wealthy, how to feel safe to feel loved. That is when you are healing, when you feel safe to feel safe again. So we are going to use this beautiful energy that is a magnifying energy. It's an energy that's inviting you to release the things that are not serving you anymore. It's inviting you to create new rules. And it's literally asking you, what over the next 6 months are you willing to receive? What are you willing to release so that you can receive? So that is what we are going to do with our breath session. So for the breath pattern, I am not going to assume everyone knows how to do breath work. So if you know how to do breath work already, that is beautiful. I'm still going to give some instructions because I want to make sure everyone understands what we're doing and feels safe to do this. So if you are new to breath work, things that are very normal, and it doesn't actually say you're doing it right or wrong, but just can happen. While you are doing breath work, it is very common for your lips to go numb or your jaw to get tight. It's really common for your muscles to kind of like freeze and you get claw hands. Temperature changes are really normal. Coughing, yawning, feeling like you want to move, making sound. Those are all really normal sensations during breath work. Beautiful thing about breath work. Breath work physiologically changes you. It changes your pH while you're breathing. It changes the oxygen levels in your system. There are so many different physiological things that happen. And this is why I love breath work, because wealth is a sensation. So we are going to create the sensation of peace and wealth in your system. We're actually going to get your nervous system used to feeling safe to feel wealthy. Anybody interested? Do you guys want to do this? Okay, if you are in a place that you can turn on your microphone, this is just my own personal preference. I prefer to be able to see people when they are doing breath work so that I just can kind of feel how the crowd is going. This breath is called a triactive breath, but we're going to do it a little bit modified because it'll be in and out through the nose and only through the nose. The reason we're doing it through the nose, when you do breath work in and out through the nose, it actually keeps your system more regulated than when you do breath work in and out through the mouth. So even if you have done extensive breath work, I still invite you to do this through the nose because we are not activating the system to release. We are activating the system to be calm. Make sense? So we're going to do nose breath, not mouth breath. So this nose breath is an in, out pattern. It sounds like this. So as you breathe, belly, lungs, release. Breathe into the belly, breathe into the chest, release. Now, you could be snotting all over yourself. That's okay. You could have animals that come and try to be with you. That's really, really normal. Animals and small children like to be around people when they're doing breath work because they help to release the energy. So I'm putting kids to bed. No, you're good. So you want to just kind of create a space really quick. What we are going to be doing with this breath pattern, we will be doing 3 minutes of breathing, a 1 minute top hold. So a top hold, I'll say breathe in really, really deep and hold with your lungs open. We'll do that for 1 minute. Then we'll breathe for 2, hold for 1, breathe for 1, hold for 1. It's called the 3-2-1 breath for change. So when we're breathing, you're focusing on removing and releasing. When you're holding, you're visualizing the thing you want. What are you calling to you? So take a minute and ask yourself, what am I willing to receive? What am I willing to receive? And once your head answers you, ask your heart, what am I willing to receive? What am I willing to receive? Now, as that answer comes to you, what are you willing to receive? Pay attention to how your body feels. When you got an answer, I'm willing to receive more money. I'm willing to receive a better relationship. I'm willing to receive new health. Did your body tense? Did it relax? Did you have multiple sensations? Don't create a story about it being good or bad. Just be aware of it. So once you know what you're willing to receive, as we breathe, you will hear me say things like, it's safe to breathe. Pick your own pace. So I will not continue to breathe because I don't want to activate. I am holding space for you guys. I will also be running the timer, so you don't need to worry about time. I'll cue you through all of it. One thing to really allow yourself to do. Sometimes we have a belief because we believe if it's hard, then it's better. You can breathe really slowly and not activate your nervous system and still have a very effective integrative session. Okay? So hold in your mind what it is you're willing to receive. And in just a moment, I'm going to start my timer. We're going to breathe for 3 minutes. In, out, in, out. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out. Move into 3 minutes. In, out. Allow your body to pick its own pace and to put a little bit of background music on, but allow your body to breathe in, out. Letting your body move energy, not just air. safe to let it go. That's it. Beautiful. Keep breathing. In, out. Keep breathing. It's safe to let go. Let the breath move it through you. Releasing the tension, releasing the programs. Allowing the body to move if you need to move. Allowing the body to yawn or cough. Taking your last purposeful deep in, out. Releasing that pattern and taking a deep breath in through the nose, feeling the chest, taking the deepest breath you've had all day long and holding at the top. Holding with your lungs open, opening your heart, and focusing on your heart's desires. I am willing to receive. I am open to receiving. I am safe to receive. Keep holding. If your body doesn't want to hold, move your shoulders so it knows you're still alive. Keep holding. You're almost there. Hold on to your desires. You get to receive. And releasing that breath in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a deep breath in and out. Now moving back into the triactive through the nose, in, out. For 2 minutes, releasing and letting go. Breathing slow and at a pace that feels good to you. It's safe to let go. It's safe to feel safe. Relaxing the shoulders and keeping the breath going. If you need to breathe out through the mouth to release even more, allow and trust that the body will do that. Making sound if you need to make sound. It's safe to let go of scarcity and fear. Let the memories, let the giggles come and go. So good. That's beautiful. Keep breathing. Just 10 more seconds of the breath. Taking deep breaths in, exhaling, letting your natural breath take over. Taking a deep breath in through the nose, filling the lungs and holding at the top. Holding long enough that your body fills with bliss, that it feels open and safe to receive. Let your body surprise you at how easy it is to hold on to your desires. Feeling the peace and the calm as you hold. And if your body needs air, take a breath and go back into that hold. Feeling your body relax and releasing the breath. Doing one last round for 1 minute, breathing in, out, even slower and calmer than you have before. Truly relaxing the body into receiving and honoring your desires. Maybe even breathing out with a sigh. Breathing as a group, in, out. One more deep breath, in, out. Now taking your deepest breath in, holding at the top, opening your heart, relaxing your shoulders and opening your chest, feeling your energy expand and make room. It is safe to receive the wealth, the health, and the deep connection you long for. Hold. Let your body fill into bliss. Hold. Relaxing your legs as you hold, relaxing your jaw, going into complete bliss. Releasing that breath, and as you release, allowing your body to come back to the present. Allowing your mind to become aware of the peace and the sensation throughout the body. Stretching, yawning. Taking a deep breath in and out with a sigh. Coming back to the group. And welcome back. It is safe to feel wealthy. Thank you so much. Take a deep breath. I'm going to turn it back over to Wendy.
Oh my word. It was good for me. Was it good for you? Oh my goodness. Everybody, can you just like silently give a round of applause for beautiful Miss Laurel, who has brought so much wisdom, so much understanding. And whenever I teach, I call there a 3-way to truly becoming the information. And Laurel literally did all 3 steps: that illuminated mind that allowed us to be aware of what is true and possible, the awakened heart that we could feel and sense and connect with it, and the realized soul, which integrated all of it with that beautiful breath pattern, so that now we become that vibration of wealth. We become what we're wanting to create. And we're learning to expand higher beyond what we thought was actually true and possible. I have a couple of announcements, but before I do, I would love to have any questions. We're not going to have time to go out in groups today, but I would like to invite and open it up to questions, comments. We have roughly about, we have time for about 4-ish, 5-ish questions, just depending on how long the answer is. So does anybody have a question? If so, raise your hand with your little reaction tab. Just raise your hand and I'll call on you. If anybody has it, now is the time. Laurel is just so incredible at answering questions. So if you have something on your heart, don't be shy. Just raise your hand and I'll invite you. Oh, it looks like I see one. Jen Hardy, I see you raising your hand. Go ahead and unmute yourself, sis. Unless
Okay, here I am. Can you hear me? Okay. I did a breathwork session last night, and then I was also feeling it today during this one, like a tightening in my back. Is that normal? And I mean, I was in pain like most of the day today because I was still holding on to it. So what can you tell me about that? Maybe
What portion of your back?
like middle back.
Okay. So the short answer to that, I have a question that you can answer out loud or not, but it pertains to anyone who was feeling sensation underneath the shoulder blades or in that center, think bra line. That is where we hold betrayal trauma. And that is where we hold whether or not so think of, I felt stabbed in the back. So there's one, same coin, just different sides. One is you are currently in a situation where you have felt stabbed in the back, betrayed, are refusing to forgive. Same coin, different side. In the past, you have felt that and it is coming up and out. So a lot of times when people do a lot of personal development, we forget that sometimes when pain shows up in our body, it's because it's coming up and out. It's not a current situation. So you can kind of fill into, does this feel like this is right here, right now, or this is something that I'm letting go of and it's coming up and out? And in the past, I refused to feel the pain. So I'm feeling it right now and it's releasing. But that's where we hold unforgiveness and betrayal trauma. Yep.
Beautiful. All right. Gentry asks, I'm literally in the middle of basement flooding chaos. What does that mean for money energetics? It literally started before this call and is the second time in the week, and a constricted throat.
Okay, I'm going to keep this short. Energetically, what is tied to money? Are you willing to allow money to flood to you? Are you open to that? So when you think of flooding, you can think of it as it's coming so quickly, I don't know what to do with it, and that's overwhelming. Or when things come to me too quickly, they cause destruction. So if things are coming to you and causing destruction, that's one of the reasons why you would energetically not want money to come to you. If things are coming at such a fast pace that you're like, I don't even know what to do with it, then let go of the I don't know what to do with it and just be like, this is so amazing. I love that this is happening. If you were because here's the beautiful part of this. Everything you have in life right now, you desired, you just don't get to decide how it shows up. I had a client who wanted a new car, and that was her desire. Well, she got in a car accident. And because of the circumstances, she actually ended up getting a new car plus some extra money. So her desire was a new car. She just didn't get to decide how it came to her. So a question I would ask you is, what's happening in your wanting to level up your circumstances that your house getting flooded is allowing you to have something new of? What did you desire? And this is the way it's coming to you. Can you embrace and be excited that this is how it's coming to you? The constricted throat. It's interesting because a lot of times when our throat is constricted, it's not actually a throat problem. It's not a voice problem. It's usually a solar plexus problem. We feel like we've been gut punched and we've had the wind knocked out of us, so we lost our voice. But it's actually because we feel like we're powerless. If we want to go one level deeper, and I'm not saying this actually doesn't feel like it fits Gentry, but it feels like there's someone else in the group that needs to hear this. When our voice is constricted, especially for women, a woman's voice a voice box looks exactly like a woman's reproductive parts. And so I don't know what I can say on these. I don't know how edited I need to be. So, Okay, so a picture of a voice box looks exactly like the vaginal opening. And so for a lot of women who are tied in their throat, it's because they feel sexually tied. And so very rarely are throat problems. They're usually feelings of personal power or feeling like we've been cut off from our sensuality or our creativity.
Wow.
So that was a really powerful, concise, that's probably the shortest I've ever answered that. You're welcome.
I'm impressed. You guys, she has such great information. We have time for 2 more questions. I invite you to be bold and step forward. You can put it in the chat box. You can raise your hands. You can use the little reaction thing to raise the hand so I notice you. And it's okay. If you feel complete, we're okay with being complete too. Oh, high five. Oh, Chelsea, do you have a question?
I couldn't figure out how to do the reactions. Okay, took me long enough. Yeah, sorry, I was.
No, we can't hear you now. Hang on, unmute, sis.
Okay.
Good.
Do you train people how to like facilitate somatic stuff and like breath work?
I do. I actually, today's the last day for registration, but I have a 10-week somatic breath mapping that starts on Thursday. It's somatic breath mapping. It's 10 weeks long. It's trauma-informed breath work. So if you want to message me your email address, I can send you the information on it.
Okay. And does it train people just how to do it for themselves, or does it train people to how to be facilitators for it?
It's facilitation training. It's certification. So it's actually a level 2 somatic breath mapping certification that allows you to do personal sessions, group sessions, or workshops. It's pretty intense, and it's 10 weeks. There is a practicum involved, so I actually make sure you know how to properly and safely teach people how to facilitate breath. And then there's a live event at the end of it in St. George, Utah.
Cool. Thank you.
Yep.
Beautiful. Oh, she is such an incredible teacher. There's several of her students on this call right now, and they can all attest that she is the real deal. So,
and you teach it in St. George, then you're from here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sweet. Cool. Thanks.
Yep.
Anyone else?
Can I just move in with you?
Oh, Kaylee asks, okay, just
Yeah.
okay. Just so you can get integrated. Yeah. That's awesome. All right.
From what I understand, if you have the monthly membership for the Soul Family, you will get the replay to this. So if that breath session really helped you move things, it's only, how much is it a month, Wendy, for them?
It's as low as $3 a month. It's a Patreon subscription that allows you to donate monies each month for Yin on Fire to be able to continue doing what we do. And so this is always free. Monday night live is free. But if you want a recording that you can go back to over and over and over, we do have the Patreon subscription. We really, really encourage you guys to consider that $3 is not much to invest in your health and well-being, and it helps us tremendously. So, great. All right, I think we are just kind of ending and going out with this beautiful energy of vibrancy and wealth. I do want to just tell you, how many of you, I just have a question for you. How many of you have opened yourself up to healing because you wanted to stop suffering or you wanted to feel better? By show of hands, you can just raise them up like this. How many of you, when you opened your eyes and you woke, started to feel like being woke was overrated and that all of a sudden the shit show started to happen? Did anybody feel that way? Did you feel worse before? Okay. So how many of you feel like you're doing it wrong or have felt like you must be doing it wrong? This whole healing thing, you must be doing it wrong. You might not be doing it the way other people are doing it, or somehow you're missing a step. Somehow you're doing it wrong. Somehow you don't have the right tool, right? How many of you feel the weight of that statement on your system? How many of you feel like if you could just figure it out, you would feel better? If we're being honest, I think all of us have been at that space a time or two, especially if we've been in this realm for a while. We start to go, oh my gosh, I have learned that, and I have learned that, and I've learned it. Why do I still feel like this, right? Next week, I'm going to teach you. I am going to teach you how to step out of the 3D world and go into the 5D world of authentic self, true connection, and ultimately a place of non-suffering and enlightenment. How do we go there? And how do we thrive through what I call ascension symptoms? What you all are going through is ascension symptoms. These are the deconstructs and the programming and the things that you are having to unravel from a lifetime of experience. How do you do it? What is a realistic picture? How do you bypass? How do you stop spiritually bypassing yourself? That is a real thing in the conscious community. How do we stop spiritually bypassing ourselves and minimizing the experience and the sensations by piling up a whole bunch of positive affirmations when we aren't feeling good in our system? So I want to invite you to come and share this with your friends. Come and learn. I'm going to teach you tools to thrive during those ascension symptoms, to thrive through this place as we're all doing this. I'm not telling you that I stay in 5D reality. I'm not telling you that I stay in enlightenment. It is a process of compassion, forgiveness, connection to ourselves, others, and the divine. So I invite you to come next Monday and learn. And just like with Laurel, is not just being in that space of illuminating your mind. We are going to do this so that we feel it in our body and we start to realize it in our soul. So it becomes a part of who you are instead of what you do. So with that being said, we love you. Thank you so much. I know it's getting really dark, but I want to turn on the light. So have a blessed night, a wonderful eclipse, and start welcoming that wealth.